Good day, everyone. I have returned, as I said I would, and let's talk about SummerSlam. Now, if you have seen my predictions video from yesterday, I've already covered TakeOver, ready for that show Saturday 8. Mwah, delicious. But now, it's time to talk about that main event, that SummerSlam, baby. Sunday night, we got SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer. Let's shove that down your throats for 1,625,000 times. But in all fairness, I'm looking forward to the SummerSlam. It should be interesting. There are some things that should go one way, a few things that could go the other way, and things, if they go the other way, the whole show goes into chaos. There are just some matches on this show that really have my attention in the sense of, what if this happens? How would this happen? It has my attention. What more can I say? I am also quite gracious in the fact that I believe the show has been cut down from the standard of 15 to 17 matches. And I believe the kickoff has been cut down an hour. Comment if I'm wrong. I have heard that the kickoff, originally set to be 2 hours, has gone down to 1. Fair play. We have enough wrestling that weekend anyway. So it's really only quite appropriate for WrestleMania's kickoff to be 2 hours. That is my opinion, but I believe I'll have some in agreement after stating that. So, without any further ado, it's time to run down the SummerSlam card. Let's discuss how things have been going, and let's get up to speed with everything, because as I said, I missed Extreme Rules. It's time to go through what I have missed to discuss with you. So let's get right into it. Might as well start off with a bang. Let's talk about the Universal Championship picture. Now, Seth Rollins was the Universal Champion. He conquered the Beast at WrestleMania by shady means. But Brock Lesnar won the Money in the Bank contract, again by shady means, cashed in at Extreme Rules after Seth Rollins was able to retain, and beat him to win back the Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar is now a 3-time Universal Champion. Overall, I believe 7-time World Champion in WWE. So well done to that fact. And here's the thing. After a while, I completely fell out of any interest for babyface Seth Rollins. Everyone knows how he's been stating himself on the internet lately. It's turning a lot of people off in the sympathy department. And then what Brock Lesnar does coming back may have turned everyone off. But here's the thing. If Brock finally has his UFC career cut off from him and can just be around a little bit more often doing his thing, it's great. That's the thing. That's always what I'm going to back up about Brock Lesnar. I love Brock Lesnar. I don't love what WWE have done to him the past couple of years. It's really ruined his image because Brock is a dedicated guy to the business. You bring him on TV and he will kill it. Like, do you remember 2015 when everyone was starting to get back on the Brock train after Seth cashed in the first time? What he did to J&J Security, stalking Rollins and everything? That was cool. That was fun. Brock Lesnar is on my good side right now because I had a debate with myself the other day before Monday Night Raw last week. Okay, Brock Lesnar's champion again. Here's the thing. I'm also sick of face Rollins, so maybe this isn't really a bad thing, but I need Brock to just go into full beast mode and just kayfabe kill the man. And he did! That is the funny thing. 2 weeks ago, Brock Lesnar comes out in the middle of the Seth Ziggler match and completely abolishes Seth Rollins. He destroyed him. The F5 on the chair in the sitting position was brutal multiple times. And then standing in front of the ambulance trying to take Seth to a medical facility because hospital isn't a term to be used in professional wrestling, WWE, yada, 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 yada. He F5s him on the stretcher. Oh my gosh, Brock Lesnar is on my good side, and that's why I'm picking Brock Lesnar to retain. I hope he completely finishes what is left of face Rollins and sends him in the injured list. I want Rollins off of TV and a return to heel Rollins. That is the purpose of this match that I'm hoping for. Maybe just to make sure there's no disappointment to some fans in the department, Brock's next challenger confronts him at the show. Maybe a return. I don't know what would really do it. I'm thinking Cena, but Cena's very unlikely. Just, there could be something else to it, because if this is the last part of the show, Brock Lesnar leaving, they'll probably book that. Let's be honest. It's not a terrible thing, but I would just love to see someone else come out and step it to him. Think about it. What if it's Goldberg? There were rumors that Fox wanted Brock Lesnar Goldberg on their program. So maybe they get it. I don't know. Can Goldberg be persuaded to come back for the Brock feud? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. But Brock Lesnar is my pick. I think he is retaining the Universal Championship against Seth Rollins. Moving on, let's talk about a match that was only announced less than 2 weeks ago. Charlotte and Trish Stratus. So, I'll admit, very pleased about this match. I was extremely worried that Charlotte was going to be added to the SmackDown Women's Championship match. I had no interest in that whatsoever. None. Zero. But then the rumors started coming out again. Oh, Trish Stratus returning versus Charlotte at SummerSlam. And what happens? Trish is announced to be a guest on the King's Court in a SmackDown in Memphis. Jerry Lawler is back too. Great, because he always loves coming back to Memphis when it's on TV. That's just a thing. If anyone who just doesn't like to see Jerry come around, just mute your TV for a little bit. That's all. Jerry's okay in my book for these kind of appearances. But then, of course, Charlotte interrupts, calls Trish out on it. Trish accepts the match. And we're gonna see it. Now, who wins? This is one of the harder matches to predict. I'll admit, I felt more confident when this was rumored. I was thinking, okay, well, if Trish does decide to come back, it's in Toronto, she'll probably win. I don't see them putting down Trish in a SummerSlam in Toronto. Not the wisest of moves. And maybe not the best of choices. But then they made it. They made it happen. So, does Trish win and this is her send-off? This is it? Or does Charlotte win and really put a stamp on whose division this is now? I am taking a bit of a gamble, but I am still sticking with Trish Stratus. I just don't think that they would put her down to lose this time, because Charlotte isn't doing anything right now. I don't think she's coming into a women's championship feud anytime soon. I hate to say it, I don't see her going for the SmackDown title in the fall. I don't. I honestly don't. I have no interest in that still. I'm picking Trish. I feel like this is still the safer choice, so let's see. And this also factors into who I think is going to win the Raw Women's Championship match, but we'll get to that in a bit. Let's keep things going mid-key right now. Moving on. Next up, let's talk about the Cruiserweight Championship match. Probably the kickoff match, but I don't have a big amount of hate on it because this was only made this week. This was made last minute for Cruiserweight title standards. Usually a pay-per-view match can be made 2-3 weeks in advance. Not this time. Not this time. Six-Pack Challenge was announced this week to be taking part on the show, and the winner was Oney Lorcan. Oney Lorcan, one of the best guys the 205 and NXT, I think, still have to date. Rough, tough, he's been in one of the best tag team matches with the Undisputed Era and Danny Burch as his partner. He is almost ready for this. I am picking Drew Gulak. I don't see Gulak's title reign ending just like that. It still feels fresh, and I see him doing more for the division later down the line, even though he's still dedicated that this is now all about Drew Gulak. Oney, you're going to put up a fight, but, I can't go against Gulak for this one. Gulak is going to retain the championship. That's my prediction. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the United States Championship match. Now, this is almost of... I don't want to say a letdown match, because I know it's going to be a good match. But here's the thing. You had Ricochet and AJ Styles main eventing Raws not that long ago, making this a more important feud. And then the heel turn from AJ. The reuniting of the club. And now they're titled the OC. New shirts. Gallows and Anderson won the Raw Tag Team Championships after AJ beat Ricochet at Extreme Rules in a great match for the United States Championship. So Ricochet wins a little gauntlet match to get another shot, but his momentum has just gone down after the past 3-4 weeks because it just hasn't been focused much on him. It also didn't help that DX just sort of buried the club on the Raw reunion. Not that that surprised me, it's WWE. Somebody was going to have to take the blunt, but it shouldn't have been the OC. Should not have been them that time. It would have been better if they just ruined the Revival again, although at this point I don't think the Revival would have been as willing to do that. So, it is what it is. I'm picking AJ Styles. I don't see Ricochet getting the championship back. You might as well put more into the OC then. I can dig that. I'm very, very pleased to see Gallows and Anderson as tag team champions again. I had a big pop when they won the titles. So, going for AJ should be another good match. I don't know if this one needs to be as crazy as their last with the interference. I think we can tone that down a little bit this time. It should be good, though. Should be good. Moving on. I guess might as well talk about the Raw Women's Championship match. So, Becky Lynch, still the champion, defending against Natalya. I understand why this has been made. Also, it helps that I am a big Natalya fan. Lacey Evans got all of the attention from Becky after WrestleMania, and it went on way too long, and I don't really think there was ever a credible time where I thought Lacey was going to take the championship from Becky. Never. Not Money in the Bank, not Stomping Ground, not Extreme Rules. I'm just thinking, why is this still going? Lord help me, and we haven't even seen her since Extreme Rules on Raw. So, I don't know. It was a breath of fresh air when Natalya won that Fatal 4-Way. I was just thinking, first of all, I had no interest in Bliss sneaking her way into another title shot. I was getting sick of her and the Nikki Cross storyline until they won the tag team titles this week. Good for you two. I'm glad you guys got something out of that. Well done, especially Nikki Cross. You're great. So glad you won a tag team championship with Bliss. Awesome. Keep it going. But as far as Natalya is concerned, I was thrilled to see her win because I know at least these two are going to put in the work. And now it's a submission match. So the work is definitely raised higher at this point to keep the crowd entertained. You're going to do great. I'm picking Becky Lynch. Although if I really, really want to pick with my heart, I'd pick Natalya. I'd love Ronda Rousey to make a surprise return, cost Becky Lynch, Natalya gets the championship again. But I don't see them doing that. That's the thing. I just don't see that happening. Becky's the cover star for 19. She's not losing the championship right now. It's wishful thinking, but going back to my Trish prediction, they cannot have Natalya and Trish Stratus lose at this show. Either they both win or one of them wins. I'm going with the one, and the one is Trish Stratus. I'm picking Becky Lynch to beat Natalya. We'll see what happens. Should be good, though. Okay, let's maybe talk about a more easier match now. Let's talk about The Fiend. Bray Wyatt's new character has been treated quite well, hasn't it? The attacks have been great. I am so glad he has also started using the mandible claw. That was great. That was a great passing of the torch. Something they did incredibly well on the Raw reunion. Give credit. That was well done. Attacking Mick Foley and then more recently Kurt Angle with the same move. Now he's taken on Finn Balor. Meh. Not only has this happened, Finn's not playing the demon. So what does that tell me? What do I want out of this now then? Especially when the rumor is Finn Balor's getting a couple of months off for a rest. Which, no, by all means, I don't hate that. You need a rest, take a rest. But what I don't like is that this has to be the first match of The Fiend. Unless this is a bigger squash match than the Goldberg match. And I have a theory of why it should be, but I'll explain into later. The Fiend needs to annihilate Finn Balor. This should be easy. This should be the easiest, maybe not the shortest, but oh, I want to see what they're going to do for this for an actual match. I'm picking The Fiend. I really hope this isn't something stupid where he might just get disqualified and continue to eat on Finn. Oh, this needs to be handled well. This is important. It needs to be handled well, and I'm just too overstimulated right now to think of the best reasoning. Other than, it needs to be a bigger squash than the Goldberg match. So, picking Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, win. Win. Win for the love of everything holy that your character has gone through in the past few months. Win. Let's move on. Okay, just trying to think again. Yeah, okay. Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens. Shane McMahon living up to his best in the world gimmick the past few months until recently, finally put down by The Undertaker of all people. It took bringing back The Undertaker to put Shane McMahon down. Now Kevin Owens has been making his life a living hell, taking on the old CM Punk gimmick of the Rebel, also using the Stunner full time now, which is beautiful, beautiful to the best of crowd reaction. But the stipulation is, if Kevin Owens loses, then Kevin Owens is fired and has to leave WWE. Leave WWE. Not very likely in Kevin Owens' case. Oh my goodness. But, ladies and gentlemen, think about the Kevin Owens character. The Rebel. The guy who attacks his boss out of nowhere. Wouldn't that be better if he was kayfabe fired? Ooh, think about that. That's right. I believe this is not the end of the feud. I think these two are going to go on for a little bit longer, which is why my prediction for this match is Shane McMahon. I think Shane McMahon is going to find a cheap way to beat Kevin Owens. The crowd might be appalled at first, but this does not mean Kevin Owens is leaving WWE. At least I don't think he plans to, and I don't think WWE plans to let him go right now. This means he can go full Rebel. Full Rebel. Full Rebel on Shane McMahon. Find a way to come back and then put Shane McMahon in the coffin. It's a risk. This is a gamble. But this is the right gamble for me to make to feel confident enough. Also, the fact that a lot of my friends still cannot stand Shane McMahon, and I am on the Shane McMahon train that really ticks him off. So here's the gamble. I'm picking Shane McMahon to win. Simple. Let's move on. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Goldberg, Ziggler. A match I did believe the rumors for when it was announced because it made so much sense. So much sense. The rumor, Goldberg completely unsatisfied with his last possible match with The Undertaker, wants to forget it and remind the fans he is not that bad. And who will help someone go over? Dolph Ziggler. That's who. So Ziggler's calling Goldberg out every show. Makes sense. Supposed to have a match with The Miz at SummerSlam. Makes sense. Signs a contract for a match with The Miz on the Raw after SummerSlam. So, not against The Miz for SummerSlam. Not against Shawn Michaels. As much as that might have teased some people. No. Goldberg. Awesome. The way they handled that on Raw was amazing. And the way Ziggler handled it on SmackDown was even better. Coming out full-on Goldberg entrance, that was fantastic. As much as I'd love to pick Ziggler in this case for the possible upset win, I'm picking Goldberg because the only way they've got... Sorry, I just heard the furnace turn on. Or the AC. The only reason that Goldberg's come back for this is because he wants to live up to his name, and Ziggler's going to help him do that. But that means it shouldn't be a squash. The Fiend match should be the squash, not this one. Ziggler needs to get his stuff in and make Goldberg look good surviving it. And I don't know what other kind of spots you want to plan with these two, But I'm thinking Ziggler goes for another super kick, tunes up the band, Goldberg catches him with a spear, jackhammer, match is over. So, should be it. Should not be a big squash. Should be 4 or 5 minutes compared to hopefully the Fiend's match is maybe like, I guess the timing doesn't matter. It just shouldn't be a squash. Just trying to find the best way to put this to everybody, in my opinion. That's all. Picking Goldberg, Ziggler's going to make him look good, and then Goldberg's going to win. That's it. Okay. I guess last to mention that I don't know why I say for this long, SmackDown Women's Championship match, Bayley defending against Ember Moon. I don't really know what to say about this, guys. Bayley sort of just invited Ember personally to be her challenger, but then even on Twitter just commented, "Oh, Trish, can't you be my opponent? I'm getting sick of Ember, yada, 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 yada." And what they've done to Ember has been terrible. Oh, they've treated her terribly over the past couple of weeks. She's eating clean pins. She's being saved by her opponent at SummerSlam. Oh, it's not working. Oh my goodness, it just isn't working. I can't pick Ember. I can't do it. I can't find myself to do it and see it happening. I'm gonna pick Bayley. I hope it's a good match, but the way Ember's been booked, I just don't have any confidence. I hate to say it because Ember's a great, great opponent for Bayley. And if Ember could win, think about Ember and Asuka reunited for a feud over the Women's Championship. That would be great. That would be so great, because who cares about Asuka and Kairi Sane in a tag team? Not me. Not me. Oh, man. Anyway, moving on. It's time to talk about what, to me, is the main event of the show. A match I am emotionally invested in. As ever. As ever. It's time to talk about the WWE Championship match. Kofi Kingston, WWE Champion, the miracle story, from rags to riches, overcame the doubt at WrestleMania and won the championship from Daniel Bryan. He has gone through the likes of Dolph Ziggler, Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan again, Sami Zayn, AJ Styles. He's gone through a lot since then. But what he hasn't done is found that one stapling title defense to live up to Kofi's name at this point. This would do it. Randy Orton, the new #1 contender for the WWE Championship, and what they've done has been absolutely magnificent. Reliving, retelling the rivalry that they had nearly 10 years ago, the emotion that went into it, the pointing to of Randy holding Kofi down, the accusing, and no denial from Randy either. He admitted it. Now, who's going to win this? Who's walking out with the WWE Championship? Now, Kofi has been fun. A few people have been turned off lately, but that's not his fault. He just hasn't had that A-caliber opponent lately. Randy is that. I think these two are going to have a fun little match. The emotion will be there for it. But you need to look in the long run. This can be a great program. Kofi and Randy can put it in and really reunite their rivalry and take it to stronger lengths. I think this rivalry is worthy of a Hell in a Cell match too. I'm be honest with you, it's a gamble, but I think these two should have a Hell in a Cell match for the championship. Which is why I am picking Randy Orton to win the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. May put a lot of people down, but I think Randy should win. The sadness, the shock should be there, but Kofi should not give up. He should pursue Orton, have a September rematch, Orton somehow keeps it, maybe a disqualification or a countout. Hell in a Cell, Kofi wins it back. I think Randy Orton should win the championship, but Kofi Kingston wins the championship back. It's a big gamble, this one, because in minds of some of the people higher up, they do not plan to give Kofi Kingston the championship back. I'm not surprised to think that, because this is still treated as a trial and error. Because it's a new WWE champion. You win the championship the first time, you're always looked at to see how you're doing. Can you hold up? Getting the championship back is not an easy thing. So, question is, if Kofi loses, will he get it back? And to be honest with you all, I'm picking Randy Orton because I want to feel good either way. If Randy wins, I can say I got it right. I was ready for this. If Kofi wins, I can still celebrate because I love Kofi and I want to see him still the WWE champion. But I'm picking Randy for this one. That is all. And with that being said, thank you all if you're still here. It's been a longer video of sorts, but I had to catch up on things, let you all know how I'm feeling about it, and put in the work. We got 10 matches so far. If anything else is advertised, I will try to make another video as soon as possible to give my predictions for it. I wouldn't be surprised if we get an additional 2 matches, maybe even just 1. I don't know. Might be a bonus kickoff match that might just get announced. If it's a big deal, I'll do a prediction for it. If not, I'll let it slide. Hopefully, you all will enjoy the show too. Thank you so much for tuning into my predictions. Like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you're looking forward to at SummerSlam. I will hopefully be back for my results and review videos for TakeOver and SummerSlam. I haven't done those for a while, but I think for SummerSlam weekend, they'd be a bit worth it. So, we'll see. We'll see. Thank you all. Enjoy SummerSlam weekend. Get your snacks ready. Get your couch ready. Enjoy the show any way you can. See you later and keep it real.